This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Well, good day. I'm Elena Ross. The Kern County Sheriff's Office confirms to 17 News they've arrested a suspect in the case of a deadly shooting in Wasco back in January. 19-year-old Juan Romero in court Friday when he pled not guilty to murder. The deadly shooting happening back on January 20th. Investigators say Romero drove up to 16-year-old Adrian Esparza and shot him 3 times near 6th Place and Cedar Avenue there in Wasco. Esparza rushed to the hospital but died from his injuries the next day. Investigators say a caller identified Romero as the shooter and identified his father's car at the scene in surveillance video. And an investigation is underway after a man was shot and killed in Oildale over the weekend. It happened Friday morning on Barnett Street, just south of China Grade Loop. The Kern County Sheriff's Office saying deputies got a call about a vandalism in progress, and when they arrived, they found a man who had been shot to death. That person, identified as James Strickland, according to his elderly mother, Eva Strickland, James was diagnosed with schizophrenia and was on drugs at the time. She said James broke through the security door of her home with a large shovel and attacked her. Eva claims she wouldn't have survived if it wasn't for her 86-year-old neighbor who shot James. 17's Marco Torres will have much more on this tonight at 5. And we're learning more about what led up to a deadly home invasion in northeast Bakersfield. Police say the man who broke into a house before attacking the homeowner with a hatchet was staying at a nearby sober living facility. It happened Wednesday evening on Pla Vada Drive. Police say the man entered the victim's garage where he found the hatchet, then went inside and started attacking the man who lives there. The homeowner was able to arm himself with a knife and stab the intruder to death. The homeowner is listed in stable condition at the hospital. The trial continuing today for the couple accused of killing their adoptive sons. Orrin and Orson West were reported missing in December 2020, but prosecutors allege the brothers were actually killed 3 months before that. On Friday, a police interview from 2020 was played in court, with the detective saying Jacqueline West had a new phone and there were no photos of the boys on it. The adoptive mother said her old phone was broken and she didn't save the SIM card. She continues to tell police there is no cover-up. Now, 17 News has been following this case since the very beginning. Court reporter Jason Katowski is providing live updates from the courtroom on our Twitter account, and you can also find all of his coverage over the years from this West trial on our website, kgt.com. You can also find a link there to the courtroom's audio. Also in court today, a man accused of a double homicide. Deputies say Brian Castellon led them on a wild manhunt last Wednesday. They got word of a shooting in South Bakersfield, and when they arrived, they found 2 men had been shot to death. A short time later, another shooting, this one in central Bakersfield, where deputies arrested Castellon, saying he had also stolen a car and shot the driver earlier. That driver survived. Castellon facing 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of attempted murder, among other charges. Well, in business news, Target's popular car seat trade-in event is back. You can bring in your old, expired, or damaged car seats to Target and trade it out for a coupon to get 20% off of a new car seat, stroller, or other baby gear. Most car seats sold in the U.S. have an expiration date, usually about 6 to 10 years after the date they were manufactured. Since starting this program in 2016, Target says they have recycled 33 million pounds of car seat materials.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OB/GYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
Kern County Honor Flight number 46 is headed for the nation's capital. 100 Kern County veterans will be traveling to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials built in their honor. 17's Michaela Armstrong will be joining those veterans and their escorts with updates of the day's events each evening. You can also follow along on Honor Flight's Facebook page. You are also invited to thank them for their service in a welcome home celebration happening Thursday at 6 p.m. as they land at Meadows Field. Also happening tomorrow, the clock is ticking to file your taxes. Those 2022 taxes are due tomorrow, April 18th. The IRS says if your return contains no errors or red flags and you filed electronically, you should get your refund within about 21 days. Taxpayers who are granted an extension, like many of us Californians impacted by those catastrophic winter storms, have until October 16th to file. That goes for both state and federal taxes. But scammers, meantime, are keeping busy this tax season. The IRS offers helpful information to avoid being scammed, saying they never demand immediate payment using such methods as a prepaid debit card, a gift card, or a wire transfer. The IRS says they will never threaten to have law enforcement arrest the taxpayer. They will never call unexpectedly about a tax refund either. Well, Bakersfield's Kevin McCarthy was at the New York Stock Exchange this morning to talk about the economy and the debt ceiling. The House Speaker covering the debt limit negotiations, which he says will not pass without a deal on future spending cuts. The debt limit authorizes the United States to pay back money the country has already borrowed. If the debt limit increase is not passed, it would cause the U.S. to go into default and risk our standing as a leader in the world's economy.
When I walked with him and sat with him, I said, look, we could negotiate, and there's parameters. Let me be very clear. There's two things I will not do. I will not raise taxes, and I will not pass a clean debt ceiling. It just won't pass.
The day is coming. I do not want to see this president bumble in to a default. I want to sit down and solve the problem together.
Now, McCarthy went on to say the GOP's proposal will include restoring work requirements that ensure able-bodied adults without dependents can earn a paycheck and learn new skills to grow the economy and help the supply chain. And a warning if you use Google Chrome. The company says it has discovered a security threat if you use it with Windows, Macs, and Linux. Google has released a patch to fix this issue. They're urging users to update your Chrome browser immediately to make sure you are fully protected. After 35 years, the Phantom of the Opera took its final bow on Broadway. Last night was the last performance. The show has been performed about 14,000 times at New York City's Majestic Theater. It opened in January 1988, and it's grossed over $1 billion. Nearly 20 million people filed through the theater to see the show over those 3 decades. The hit musical closed, holding the title of longest running musical on Broadway. But if you're sad like me, why don't you catch it out locally? That Broadway classic playing right here in Bakersfield. Centennial High School is performing Phantom Thursday and Friday at 7 p.m. with a matinee performance at 2. Tickets are $10 for pre-sale at the CHS Finance office or $12 at the door. And later this week, the Party of the Year will set sail. The Keep Calm Jamboree returning this Friday. It benefits, you guessed it, Camp Keep and Calm. Tickets are $65. That admission will get you beer and wine, plus live music from Yachtly Crew, a band specializing in 70s and 80s soft rock, or yacht rock as they call it. Tickets are selling out fast. Don't miss the boat. You can get yours at calmzoo.org. And zoogoers, heads up, Calm will close early at 1 p.m. Friday to set up for this big event. Bakersfield's 8th annual Mac and Cheese Fest saw a lot of cheese and mac, of course, at Stramler Park over the weekend, and the winners have been named. The Spicy Award went to Countryside Market's Chili Verde mac and cheese. The cheesiest creation was La Carne Meat Market, their Chili Verde mac and cheese. The most creative creation had a tie between Jerry's Pizza, their Hawaiian mac and cheese, and Butcher Block's Jalapeno Cheddar mac and cheese stuffed sausage. Yum. For the all-time best, that was another tie between Nove's Soul Spot Brisket mac and cheese and Fresco Meat Market Beer mac and cheese with shrimp.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.